Welcome to today's video. Welcome to my channel. And today's topic is guilt feelings. We're going to be talking about where they originate from, why are they here, why do we have them, and how to work with them. And really how to understand them, because understanding the origin of them helps us be more okay with them, accept them, and really understand why and how we can cope with them and start transforming them towards the feelings that support us, supportive feelings. And so, first of all, we need to really important with all mind programming is to understand that guilt feelings exist only inside you. They're feelings combined with thoughts, probably, combined with a story you're telling yourself, combined with an inner monologue. But you need to understand they exist only inside you. And they are not the reality. Because wherever you have adopted them from, you have chose to adopt them as your own. And they are not based on truth, because if truth is love and there's a universal force of love, everything's created through love, then you can only adopt what you think someone else is thinking of you. And this is all based on expectations. And guilt feelings are only existing inside of you. We often in this situation might feel like, of course, they're feeling the same, or we even give more value to the feelings than they actually have. We keep them alive. We choose to circle in them because we convince ourselves that definitely this is how we have to be, how we expect what others are thinking. So we spiral in them and we keep them alive and we give them more credit than they actually are. Because feelings are only energy and motion, emotions and thoughts. And they're meant to flow through, and we make the selection if they're for us, if they are supporting us on the journey where we're heading towards our vision, if they're supporting us, or if they don't serve us. And you having guilt feelings is not gonna benefit anyone else, because we often think that, especially if we're being more successful than someone else, or being more happy or more satisfied or something, we have the tendency of punishing ourselves. And all of these hurts, basically, that are behind these feelings originate in childhood, in some experiences we have gone through. But the reality is, we are the only ones that can punish ourselves, and we are the only ones that can save ourselves. And this goes to every single one of us here. So, us thinking that we're gonna benefit someone from feeling guilty or punishing ourselves, which we come slowly to chronic pain, creating from that guilt feelings, accumulating tension and resulting into pain, self-punishing patterns. So us believing that this will do any good to anyone is a big illusion, and it's basically a wrong one, because us hurting and us feeling guilty will never ever make anyone feel better about themselves. It will not save anyone else, because we don't have that power. We only have the power, only to punish ourselves or save ourselves. And that goes to every one of us. No one from the outside can punish you, because you choose to be punished by what they say if there's a trigger inside you. And no one can save you because you choose to see the healing power of what they're saying. And the choice is always ours. So, us believing that if we feel guilty, we are making someone feel better is an illusion. This is not the reality. Probably we'll end up triggering someone and they will feel even worse, or you can trigger anger in someone or something like that. But it won't save anyone else of how you feel. It doesn't really have, because this is also a big illusion. We connect what we feel to what others feel. We assume what others feel, but that assumption is based on our projection into them. We assume what others feel based on what we project into them, because we see in others our own feelings. So this is the illusion where we then create the self-punishing patterns and the guilty feeling patterns, but they're based on ourselves, on our own spiral of thought, on our own experiences from the past, on our own coping mechanisms. They're not based on what the others are actually feeling, because we're not responsible for that. We're not in charge. And certainly we're not going to benefit anyone from the guilty feelings. Opposite to that, we're going to benefit, or we're going to encourage someone if we feel good. We can only help someone else if we can, or if we feel good. We can encourage them, we can tell them something nice, we can choose to be brave enough to support them, or to congratulate them, or celebrate them. But with us feeling guilty and us feeling down, we're lowering our frequency, and that will not help either us or others. Okay, so we need to understand that those guilt feelings exist only inside you, and they originate from the good girl and bad girl, good boy, bad boy behavior. So as a small child, you've been told this is good and this is bad. And this already is the separation. This already shapes us into believing something is not a part of us. But as a whole, we are both good and bad. We cannot exist without the bad. We cannot exist without the good within us. Also, the guilt feelings that are here to allow us to feel something. They're not wrong. I'm not saying they're wrong, that we don't need them. We need the whole spectrum of feelings shaping us into recognizing for ourselves, into deciding for ourselves what we want and don't want, what is good and bad for us. That is the spectrum of feelings. This is what the spectrum of feelings enables us to do. But the someone else coming to tell you this is good and this is bad can serve as a guidance and can serve as a limitation. This is the conditioning. And through the conditioning, we have learned to condition ourselves. There's nothing in origin bad with the conditioning. It only becomes bad if we take it as the only truth universal. If we form our beliefs on that and we don't allow ourselves to flow into a different belief, because we're ever changing, we're always developing ourselves, our cells are always renewing themselves, as is the society. Okay, it's always renewing. Every day we're refreshing ourselves. But the beliefs are usually based in the past and probably are no longer valid, because we see proof that it's not the way we believe, literally. And so allowing our feelings to flow through, even guilt feelings, even bad feelings, even good feelings, all of the feelings, is what allows us to be okay, to be at peace, no matter what we're feeling. But what is the problem is once we connect to that, once we connect to those feelings and we define ourselves with them. And this is when we start storing emotions inside our body. We start accumulating that tension in layers, and we create pain for ourselves. We create actual physical pain for ourselves once we connect to those feelings, because we need to understand those feelings are flowing through us, but they are not here to be grasped on. They are here to flow and to teach us something, to allow ourselves to feel them, because by enabling ourselves to feel the positive spectrum, we can then understand the negative spectrum and the opposite way. But what becomes a problem, and what allows us, unfortunately, to get into states of repetitiveness, of despair, of agony, of depression, anxiety, is ourselves defining ourselves with the feelings, controlling them, trying to grasp them, trying to say we decide we don't want them. But that's denying a part of ourselves. That is suppressing a part of ourselves. And so whenever we're judged in childhood, good girl, bad girl, we have learned to feel good or bad accordingly. But this is what we can change. How we feel, we decide how we're gonna feel. Because action leads to a consequence, and we can choose to focus on how we're gonna be feeling. Meaning the environment, the atmosphere we create around ourselves reflects how we're taking care of ourselves within. And this will only resonate outside. So once we work on our feelings within ourselves, we sort through them, and we allow them to flow, we allow them to be there. This is when we free ourselves. We stop clinging into those bad ones. We stop defining ourselves with them, because if we try to grasp them, or suppressing them is also, or grasping them. So if we don't want to feel them, then they grow, unfortunately. Then they stay with us for longer and longer. And then we accumulate them within our body. And the guilt feelings are based in society beliefs, but they originate from fear. Okay, whenever we try to control the society in a certain way, control is fear. Control is not trust and allowing. Okay, with trust there is intention. With trust there's openness. Okay, and so, and it's sense of strong controlling and defining yourselves with something, not allowing yourselves to flow, is fear, and that creates tension, and that stops literally the feelings inside our body. And this is why we can end up feeling bad for days, or we have a repetitive pattern, or we have chronic pain, or we have triggers that once they come into our life we don't want them, but they always come because they're a part of us. If it triggers you, then there's something based on it, a part of you, and it triggers us over and over, and those feelings that we have grasped on come again, and we define ourselves with them again. So we need to understand the most important thing, that they exist only inside you, and then it's your decision what you're gonna do with them, basically. If you allow yourself to feel them through and let them go, Or if you start clinging onto them and saying, yes, I'm this, yes, my thoughts are right, I am my guilt feelings, but you're not. You need to understand their own feelings. And the way you react to them, the way you approach them, you can approach them with open arms. Welcome, guilt feelings. Yeah, you're here. Okay. Let's see. Why are you here? What can I do for you? You feel them and you allow them to go. You be proud of feeling them because there's a reason why you're feeling them. But don't define yourself with them because you are not your feelings. And yeah, whenever we fear something, we tend to control it and grasp onto it, which then unfortunately creates that tension, creates that fear. I will explain this in a way that if we decide this is not how I want to feel, this is the control, for example. Okay, we're feeling badly, we're feeling pain, but if I approach the pain with I don't want to feel pain, then I'm trying to control it. I'm not allowing myself to feel through it and let it go. And with more control over it, with more of me saying, no, I don't want to feel you, the more we actually concentrate it in our body and the stronger it gets, the higher the intensity. You really have to allow yourself to feel through those feelings, feel through that pain, and then it can be just a glimpse of a second once it disappears. It's in that now moment. It's allowing yourself, I accept myself, even if I have guilt feelings, even if I have all sorts of feelings, even if I feel pain. This is what then dissolves the pain because you no longer grasp onto it. You no longer define yourself with it. And it brings instant relief, which is great. And yeah, so we can learn how to work with our feelings. We can learn how to not have guilt feelings because if they don't serve us, there's no reason for it. But if we're having them and if we're experiencing them repetitively, then there is a need for them. You're not feeling something you don't need to be feeling. So you do need to cleanse that story that you're telling yourself behind those feelings. This is where you need to really connect to it and start communicating with them. Because they're not here for no reason. They're never any feelings you're feeling, not here for no reason. They are decisions from the past that you've made. Okay, I'm gonna now feel guilt feelings because, and there's a story behind this, and you need to open up that story and see for yourself, understand, and then you can change. Okay, this story is an old limiting belief. It no longer serves me anymore. How can I change it? What's the new story that I'm telling myself? And the more centered and aligned we become, the less your mind will believe that it is the feelings. Okay, so what we do with alignment, I often talk about alignment and centering yourself, grounding yourself, whatever techniques you want to use, whether it's deep breathing, meditation, yoga, if it's very soft yoga, something that allows you to feel, or just feeling into your body, like, wow, I'm here. So aligning your mind helps you to not believe that you are those feelings. Okay, because if you're not working on centering yourself, if you're not focusing on your breath, if you're not even aware of your breath, then you believe that you and what you feel, you're one. But coming back to yourself, coming back to the energy you are, will allow you to see more clarity in terms of, oh, right, feelings are just something that flows through, and I can understand them, but I don't have to define myself with them. So, with a very cluttered mind, with a very busy lifestyle where we believe that what we're doing is more important than ourselves, we can't see the difference between the feelings and our mind. Our mind identifies with the feelings. So, coming back to yourself as an energy, it takes practice every day, whatever works for you. Centering yourself, alignment is what will bring you that clarity and more understanding every day, every single day. And especially in triggering situations, I really recommend you to step aside. You will learn how to do this over time easier. Uh, you will allow yourself to not be in those situations, in any dramatic situations. You will be able to excuse yourself. Okay, this is an intense situation for me. What is this showing me? And how do I want to react? Instead of reacting in the automated version, which is usually based on expectations of, again, society beliefs we've been conditioned with. And yeah, and if we're trying very hard to be only good, to be the good girl, to be what we're expected to be, then unfortunately we are confirming these guilt patterns, punishing ourselves. We're talking to ourselves in our mind very badly, and this can't result in a harmonious, peaceful life because you're not accepting all of yourself. You're not accepting yourself how you are. You're not loving yourself with the good and bad. You're separating those things, but actually they are only feelings within you, and you are conditioning yourself. Therefore, there will be a disbalance whenever you're choosing something yes, something no. There will be a disbalance. And yeah, if those guilt patterns become very strong, then they create disease of the body, really uncomfortableness. For days we can stay in depression or things like this, but it builds up. It never just occurs, it never just visits you. It builds up through the patterns you've been doing automatically because you're not becoming aware. And what helps you become more aware is coming back to your body, feeling into your body, harmonizing your mind, centering yourself, grounding yourself, whatever way works for you. And yeah, from these, unfortunately, guilt feelings are a big part of creating the self-punishing coping mechanisms like migraine, anxiety, depression. I talked about this, and this is only because we're playing the bad judge of our behavior subconsciously. So we're judging our behavior based on our expectations, but we're not allowing ourselves to feel the full spectrum. And in the core, I repeat, everything's neutral, and we're the ones to choose the polarity, the good or the bad. We can choose the sides of the coin, as we say, but everything is neutral in the core. That means that both polarities are part of us. We cannot live without one. We wouldn't function properly if we could choose only one. Because literally it is that way, really, that without the bad you don't know what is good for you. So you need to also be able to feel the bad, that you can, for example, feel gratitude and appreciate what is good. And yeah, this is basically how we can work with guilt feelings. and how we can start feeling better, definitely, because this is the self-healing series and this is our goal. And so I hope this helps and it clarifies things a little bit for you. I think I had another video about guilt feelings, but it's always good to say it in other ways, maybe explaining it a bit differently. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.